What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang? This is your boy, Niner Gang Podcast, back in the building. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on all them post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it, ladies and gents. We had a hell of a game yesterday, man. Hell of a game. I was there, had a ton of fun. It's always good to go in there and get at those Redbirds and beat them down. I know y'all seen the caption. As far as the video is concerned, yes, that was a dead cardinal, and yes, it's a cartoon. And people, don't get mad at me, okay? Don't send PETA after me because I put a dead bird up. We did kill a bird. That is a cardinal. We did destroy them. There's nothing I can do about that. These are just facts. At the end of the day, that red bird needed to die, and we shot him down with our musket, hit him with a couple of shotgun pellets and whatnot, and took him out. That's just what we did. That's just who we are. Carcast, my man, what's going on, bro? So at the end of the day, man, it was a little bit of a fight, and we do have some things we have to clean up. This was not by any stretch of the imagination was it a overly dominating game. We got a problem in the run game. So you've heard a lot of commentators talk about us as an unbeatable team when fully healthy. Now, with no Armstead, and no Hargrave, they ran all over us, and that is unacceptable. We missed a lot of tackles yesterday. I don't know what it was or what was going on, but the Cardinals alone amassed 234 yards between James Conner, Amari DeMarco, and Kyler Murray and Michael Carter. So 234 yards combined is really bad. That means our rush offense was bad. Of course, yes, it was Kyler Murray doing his damage with, getting out and getting on those big runs. But that kind of, we understand that's what's going to happen because every now and then he's going to have to get out of the pocket. He's a very small individual coming in at about 5'8". I know a lot of people try to give him 6 foot, all that. Look, I stood next to the guy. He's not that much taller than I am, and I'm only 5'6". So I'm telling you right now, Kyler Murray is really, really short. But what I can say is we had a little scare for like a hot second. Purdy went down. We all know now what it was. It was a stinger. So that's why he was down for a bit. But the one thing I can say is that kid has hometown love because that whole stadium was chanting Purdy. And another thing I want to tell y'all is we're going to have to call this Levi's West or something because we were literally there in droves. We took over. If you did not, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm 49er_Dion. If you do not follow me on Instagram, you missed out. But when I tell you we were so deep in that stadium, I damn near barely saw Cardinal fans. That's how crazy it was, bro. It was a full-on takeover. Walking to the game, parking, anything you were doing, they knew. That's how crazy it was. Like we literally took over that stadium. We took over every bar that there was. We took over any place you could think of in Westgate in general, in that area. There was a 49er fan somewhere. We were not far few and in between. We were many. We were deep. I'm talking if there would have been, I'll tell you this. We're in Arizona. I'm in Arizona. If there would have been a fight that would have break out, and I know this is a horrible analogy, but I'm using it anyway. If there would have been a fight that would have broken out between 49ers and Cardinal fans would have gotten killed. Like the numbers were just out ridiculous. Like we went out there and it was just flat out amazing, man. Like we took over that stadium. There were a few Cardinal fans here and there, but I'm telling you right now. So they have their little thing that says make some noise. And they have a decibel meter. And the decibel meter goes to 10. And if you get beyond 10, of course, that's ridiculous. They couldn't get their decibel meter above 7. Like, it's that bad. It almost seemed like they were pumping in crowd noise because 90% of the crowd noise came from us as Niner fans. I don't know what the actual numbers were, but I could tell you right now it had to be almost at least a 75-25 us versus Cardinal fans. That's how crazy it was. Stadium was pretty much almost filled. It wasn't sold out, but it was almost filled. The majority of those fans were Niner fans. We went in there and took over. But Yeah, I'm starting off with the bad. I'll get to the good, but yes, run game and tackling both were bad yesterday. Very, very bad. Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you, fam. Trey Thorough. I appreciate you for coming in, hanging out in the stream, baby. Nothing but love. Um, it just that game yesterday was just flat out insane, man. And shout out to Mooney Ward. I didn't think he was going to play. I thought he was going to have to wait until the Ravens week. But Mooney came out and had himself a motherfucking game. He had the pick six, and he had two picks in general. And I'm telling you right now, man, that pick six was a thing of beauty. Red Kyler the whole way through, picked it off, and took the fuck off and got into the end zone, baby. It was beautiful to watch. Everything that we did was flat out fantastic. But I'll tell you this: it's extremely rare that we get outrushed. We got outrushed yesterday, almost 100 yards. They beat us by 90 yards as a collective, 90 yards. Now, don't get me wrong. We still did what we did. We came out with the dub. You know what I'm saying? Brock Purdy, 16 to 25, 242 yards, 9.7 yards per throw. And then 4 TDs, no interceptions, didn't get sacked once, 93 QBR. And then Sam Bradford had to come in for a little bit. He was 2 or 3 for 20 yards, averaging 6.7 yards a throw, but he had like limited time. And then we threw him in at garbage time pretty much right at the end of the game. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. But we threw him in at garbage time at the end of the game because the game was in hand. Now, yes, they scored on our backup defense, but it took them a minute. So that bodes well for the confidence that I have in our backups to an extent, because they didn't just drive all the way down the field. They actually, they had to get down there slowly and gradually. First drive of the game was actually very disappointing because the Cardinals literally just walked down the field on us and scored. Like there was nothing. What's going on, CJ? There was nothing. Like we barely looked formidable at that point, and it was definitely crazy. So I wasn't necessarily too happy about that. But let's stick with the numbers. Kyler Murray, 26-39, 211 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. Both of those interceptions were by Mooney. We sacked him 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So we got to the quarterback. We did what we needed to do. Already let you know about the Cardinals rushing numbers. Us, CMC was 18 carries for 115 yards, 6.4 yards per carry, and a TD. Jordan Mason 5 for 20. Debo 1 for 11. And then you got Christian McCaffrey. Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey. He had 5 catches for 72 yards. He caught all of his targets, including one of the craziest touchdowns anyone has ever seen. This man fell down, had enough time to get up and still get into the end zone. That's insane. Like, I have no idea, because he was backpedaling. So he caught the ball, he turned around, fell, got up, and still ran in there. I loved every second of it, man. It was great. Kittle had some beautiful catches this game. You know what I'm saying? 2 catches, 54 yards. Debo Samuel, 4 for 48. He had 2 TDs. BA was only 3 for 37. Juice was 2 for 26. JJ, Jawan motherfucking Jennings, he was 2 for 25. So, I mean, nobody went over 100 yards receiving in this game. And our leading receivers were Kittle and CMC. But it was just a matter of us being, I think we more so had short fields for a lot of the games. So that's the reason why you don't see like drastic numbers and whatnot that are kind of out there. The 242 yards, you see how combined that was. And then on defense, Fred Warner leading the team, him and Demo leading the team with 9 tackles. Fred Warner had half a sack. Chase Young had half a sack. Kinlaw got in there and got himself another sack. And then Nick Bosa, he got himself a sack too. So it was great to see it. Hey, what's going on, Silverado Kev? My man in the building. World Talk, Niner Talk out there. You got to love it. Carmela Allen Bennett, hey, I appreciate you stopping in the stream. If you're new, definitely hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Well, yes, we did have to make the adjustments. Yes, you are 100% true on that. Hey, man. Oh, bro, I'm sorry, man. I hope you get better, man. Continue. Remember, get you some elderberry, keep you them emergencies. And Make sure you get a lot of eucalyptus. It'll help open up your airways and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got like if you have like the right type of humidifier in your room and you can put like essential oils in it, get you some get you some eucalyptus. It'll help open up all them passageways, bro. Or go old school, man. Make a hot toddy. You hack that shit out in seconds. But hope you feel better, Kev. Number love to you, baby. So everything that we did yesterday was just showing us who we were as a team. But the whole fully healthy thing, of course, the whole fully healthy thing is definitely something we have to keep an eye on. We've got to stay healthy throughout this run. We can't take any L's, and we it's bird hunting season. Believe you me, we done shot down 2 Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? We done murdered a Cardinal, and we stomped out an Eagle. I know a lot of people didn't like the image of us stepping on an eagle, because it's a symbol of America. But like, people saw it in good fun. Don't be fucking chumps about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. We all love this country. We respect it. We're here. We live here. But knock it off, okay? As much egregious shit as this damn country does to other countries and to the people that live here, I don't think we can be too really pissed off about stepping on a fucking eagle in a cartoon. Ain't nobody do it in real life, so I'm gonna need y'all to chill. But yeah, that right there, that's what I was talking about. Definitely got to clean up that tackling, and we definitely missed those 2 dudes. It was definitely not the easiest game, but I expected that. The Cardinals never go down easy, ever. They always fight. They always got to try to come back. They don't get the win in the end, but at the end of the day, they are not about to give. They're not going down without a fight. I will give them that much respect. They're not going down without a fight, even though it's futile and it's pointless to fight because you're gonna lose. At a bare minimum, as a man, you get out there and you say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna try. God damn it, I'm gonna give it my best shot. That no matter what, you know what I mean. Daryl says Kinlaw stepped up yesterday, but we definitely need Armstead and Hargrave back for that ball. Yes, I agree fully. And Kinlaw has been coming on these last couple of games. Like, I mean, I get it. You're in a contract year. We didn't pick up your 5th-year option. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get out there and play to get you some money. And, hey, you're making your money late in the season, which is what people actually look at. And if he can make himself a nice couple of plays in the playoffs, Kinlaw can get himself a very, very nice contract elsewhere. I do not believe the 49ers will pay him. I believe they will draft someone or bring up some of these guys that they feel could possibly take his spot or do the same things that he's doing in some way, shape, or form. The kid's shown up and shown out this year, and he's doing a lot better. So got to say I respect him for that much. But as far as this game goes, back to the defense, you know what I'm saying? We had 3 total passes defense. Of course, 2 of them were by Mooney. The other one was by Diamondor Lenore. What kills me is the last game. We had this guy, Michael Carter, out of USC. He killed us, and they barely targeted him. They targeted him on three attempts. It was either Michael Carter it was Michael Wilson. Let me check to see what this dude looked like, because I think this is the guy, because he's out of USC. And when we played against them, when they had Josh Dobbs as the quarterback, he killed us. He was the one who was giving us all that grief. And yeah, it was him, Michael Wilson. Yep. Okay, no, he went to Stanford. My bad. But he killed us last game, and this game he was nowhere to be found. Like, we shut down anything they had as far as receiving. It wasn't much. Trey McBride was the guy who killed us yesterday, and this is what scared me about this game. So when we have a team that runs for over 200 yards and a tight end that kills us, for me, that doesn't bode well for the next game, because who does Lamar Jackson love? His tight ends. What do the Ravens do well? Run the ball. That's not good for us in any way, shape, or form, because if we don't have Armstead and Hargrave in that middle to clog it up and to make sure that these dudes aren't getting in there, then we're going to have a definite hell of a game. And I said this before, and to me, it's like this. If those 2 things continue to be a problem, then this game is going to turn into one of 2 things: a lopsided beatdown of us losing, or it's going to turn into a shootout, because Brock's going to go out there and say, I got to win the game. but we don't want him out there playing hero ball either. We don't want CMC trying to play hero ball, or we don't want anyone playing hero ball. We want to play team football. We want to play sound football. So if anything, I guarantee you Steve Wilkes is probably back there saying, hey, guys, we got to get better on this tackling. We got to figure it out. Sure, he's talked to all the position coaches and told them, hey, we got to clean this shit up. We got to take better angles. Whatever we need to do, we need to do. But the other thing that we had was, let's see here. We didn't have any fumbles. Now, we did do pretty good with everything else. And then when you take a look at it, like I said, Mooney with the 2 interceptions, he had the pick 6. And then we only had 1 kick return. That was just for 18 yards, but it wasn't much. We had Ronnie Bell come out on the punt return. He only had a couple of yards, but we thought he fumbled. Luckily, he was technically down because his elbow touched the ground, thank God, because if he basically would have fumbled, then that would have swung the momentum in ways you can't imagine for the Cardinals, because that would have brought them a lot closer. I think that would have brought them within a touchdown at that point in time in the game. Within a touchdown of us, and we don't want them to be anywhere near us. We want them to, stay in the back, take back seat to everything that we're doing. But one thing I can say is that we have some good things that we have to do. We just have to be smarter about them. Our tackling has to be better. We have to be more sound in that run game. And we are still after that number 1 seed. You are 100% correct, man. That is definitely something that we got to do. Yes, rotation is great. Yep, that is definitely it. My man CJ Gray says it wasn't just how good those two are, but it messes with the rotation, keep fresh people in. Yeah, we got to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that. Mason can handle it. I will give you that. Mason can handle it. I'm not going to dispute you on that. But keeping CMC out, that's just not going to work. The reason being is Kyle. Kyle's not going to do that. He will not. Kyle kept CMC out there plenty of times where he should have been resting the dude and letting him chill, and I love what Jordan Mason brings to the game. He does a lot. For me, I like Jordan Mason better than I like Elijah Mitchell. If Elijah Mitchell could stay fully healthy, Jordan Mason would have no shot at being on that field at all outside of special teams. But he never can. He's always hurt. And just when you thought Mitchell was going to be fine, what happened? He hurt again. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I think they keep him around because they hope he's going to be healthy, because they know what they saw when he was there. I had a couple of Niner fans around me asking if if Jason Verrett was going to play. He did not, obviously, because I think he was signed to the practice squad. I don't think he was even called up to the active roster. I think they only would have done that had Mooney not been able to actually play this game. I think that's the only reason they truthfully really signed him, because having him here doesn't mean anything. The man can't barely stay on the field. And when I say these things, people, it's never nothing against the player themselves, but it is frustrating when you got a guy who just can't stay on the damn field, and all he does is sit on the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, as a businessman, I'm gonna be honest with you. As a businessman, Jason Verrett is not a good investment. Why? Because I'm not going to get a return on my investment. I may or may not, and I don't want to keep taking those kinds of chances. In business, you take chances. Every now and then, you're going to have a business that you start up that doesn't work out. You may have a business that takes a very long time to get off the ground. But one thing I can tell you, in the type of business that I'm speaking about right now, no, you do not waste money and take chances on people who, when they're fully healthy, are flat out all pros, but they ain't never healthy, and their track record has shown such. So me personally, I'm not going to invest in someone I know has the talent but can't never stay on the field. That's a waste of my money and my time. I'm not going to have you here sucking up a roster spot, wasting my damn money just doing nothing. Just because I might need you. If that's the case, then I'm going to leave you out there, and you obviously ain't nobody else call you. Just saying, so it's definitely really, really, a tough go. Special teams did all right. You know what I'm saying? We did fairly well. But when you flip to it and you look at the other side of the ball, 49ers, we punted twice. Mitch boomed both of those punts. He averaged 48 yards a punt. He could have almost sold a roughing the kicker punt. He almost could have sold it, but it's not in it. It's not in him. It's not the guy he is. So I completely get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy was super duper close to him. He was like really, 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 really close. And I'm like, all right, man, come on, bro. You gotta sell that Mitch, but it's not in him. He's an Aussie. He's a rough and tough dude. I'm not gonna be mad at him. You know what I'm saying? He says sincerely, the only sector work was 49er attackers. Our boys are great, super attack, but O-line not organized yesterday. Yeah. And we definitely are after that number one seed. The missed tackles were killing me. It's like every 5 seconds. And what killed me was it was that cutback with James Conner pissed me off because I'm like, bro, we had him. How did y'all let him get out of there? And the DeMarco touchdown. Oh my God, he just like squeaked out of the pile and took the fuck off. And when he took off, I was like, oh yeah, ain't nobody chasing, ain't nobody catching him. He gone. He wasn't no catching him. He's gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and he says now if the Eagles lose tonight, we can be both Baltimore and the Commanders. We can sit out the players that don't require rhythm to get going like CMC. That's true. That's actually very true. We can do that. He says the Ravens won't have Mark Andrews, so that's a big plus. But their second year tight end Isaiah is likely to pretty damn good. I'm pretty sure they always keep a dope tight end. Carcast. There's never a moment that the Ravens don't have a tight end that can do some things. We all know that's who Lamar Jackson loves to throw to. He loves throwing to his tight ends, man. So he definitely does that. Fast kid out of ECU last night, Mitchell. It was a horrible injury. Oh, okay. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Okay, yeah. I mean, you just got to go in there and punch him in the mouth. 200 off it. Yeah. That definitely was the case, man. We got to be on top of the tackles. Yep. And we got to wrap up. You know what I'm saying? A tackle, you cannot be that guy that wants to throw your body into someone. This is the NFL. You throw your body into someone, high probability they bounce off of you and keep on pushing. Ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? And it did seem like the defense took the week off. But what I can tell you is at the end of the day, there have been times this year where the defense had to hold it down, and there have been times this year where the offense had to hold it down. So because of that, you take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? You say, all right, cool. I don't want to make it seem like, the defense is not playing, but they're not playing to the best ability that we know that they have. And then Jake Moody, he was 1 for 1 of his field goals. He made all of his extra points because we scored 6 fucking touchdowns. We offensively, we looked great. We did. We looked really, really good. Defensively, we got to get that tackling together. We must get that tackling together. We cannot let the Ravens be squeaking out of tackles and moving and doing this and doing that and all that. No. And we have to contain Lamar because Kyler Murray ran because he had to, not because he wanted to. I'll tell you that. He ran because he had to, not because he wanted to. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 design quarterback runs, and any other run he had, he did it because he didn't have any choice. And yes, it's hard because you don't have anybody spying him. So there's a lot of green grass when he doesn't have a spy. It's easier for him to pick up chunk yardage. You know what I'm saying? Like he averaged 8.2 yards a carry. You see what I'm saying? And the guy DeMarco, he averaged 16 yards a carry, but that was because he had that big run of 49 yards. He had a total of 64 yards. So if you think about it, that's 14 yards. So he still, he was still averaging about 5 yards a carry, technically speaking, even without that. So he did a couple of things, James Conner, he did his thing. He was averaging 6.1 yards a carry. He had that 44-yard touchdown run. That's what set him up. But for the most part, we were doing what we could. Once again, Trey McBride, 10 catches for 102 yards. He was out there murdering us, man. Elliott Higgins caught the only touchdown pass that Kyler Murray threw. Everybody else on the team, it's all bullshit numbers for the Cardinals, that is. Now, the Cardinals fumbled like a motherfucker. They fumbled 5 times but didn't lose not one. So they lucked out in ways you can't imagine. Rondale Moore, Elijah Wilkinson, Greg Dortch, Paris Johnson Jr. all fumbled. But everybody recovered. They all recovered those fumbles. So we got to be able to get on top of those fumbles. When we create those possible turnovers, we must take advantage of them. We can't give them the opportunity to get the ball back and do different things. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, bro. When he came in and he missed those first couple of throws, I'm like, why do we have him throwing? Why don't we just have him running the ball until, Purdy gets back in the game? We'll figure out what's going on. It's nice that the players came up in the post-game press conference and basically said they knew it was a stinker because they talked to him. Debo said, he was like, hey, are you all right? And he said, yeah, it's a stinger. I'll be fine. And that's when Debo said, all right, cool. I'm walking away. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? I did see Trent Williams look a little winded the other day. And I'll say this. I think if we win the Super Bowl, there's a higher probability that he retires. I think if we don't win the Super Bowl, almost a guarantee. And the reason being is because, like, man, you play so long. And sometimes for people, it's not about the money, man. You start realizing your body just is not holding up to the standard it used to be. I am not stating that is what is going on with Trent, but I can tell you just by the looks and the way he carried himself, he seemed like, man, I want to relax. You know what I'm saying? He's a girl dad. He's a good dude, but I hope that guy actually feels good. I would love for him to come and stay and not retire. But the good thing is we built a good enough rapport with the players that we have. So basically he would tell us just like Joe did. The nice thing is we were able to keep Joe under wraps. Nobody knew what was going on with Joe. But then when we finally find out what's happening with Joe, 5 seconds later, we hear we got Trent. So it's like, oh, we all right. We went from Joe Stady to Trent Williams. The fuck? We're fine. Nothing to be worried about. But right now, we don't have that as an option. We're not going to go from Trent Williams to another all-pro high-end left tackle like that. We're most likely going to have to draft someone to be a replacement for Trent Williams. Don't get me wrong. I like Jalen Moore, but I do not believe that Jalen Moore is the answer at left tackle. I'm sorry. Nothing against the guy, but I don't think he's that dude. You know what I'm saying? Says you're right about CMC, but I don't think he needs as many snaps as he gets, especially that much I agree with. But once again, that's Kyle. Kyle will run him into the ground. He don't care. He'll look at a play and be like, why is it not Christian? And that's just that it's a combination of both of them, actually. Because Christian wants to be out there all the damn time, and Kyle wants him out there all the damn time. And I need Bobby Turner and Anthony Lynn to step in and say, both of you motherfuckers need to stop. He need rest. And you got to look at Kyle and go, we got to protect him from himself. And you got to look at Christian and go, we got to protect you from yourself. We understand who you are. We know what you bring to the table. We love you. Chill the fuck out. That's all I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying? It happens. He said some weeks the defense be lazy with the tackling and in the big games this year. The defense comes to play. I wish they would always play. Yeah, there's once in a while I see that too. I agree with you on that. Oh yeah, O-line's been doing really well, man. And for Purdy not to get sacked all game long was a great thing. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? The O-line has been playing very, very well. It's kind of weird the rotational thing of Burford and Feliciano here and there. But we've been playing some solid football. So I'll give them that, man. They picked it up this game, and we're going to need them to be solid as fuck against these goddamn Ravens. That is not going to be an easy task. I don't know what it is or why they keep rotating him. I think you just need to leave Burford in there and let that man take his lumps and let him learn. Like, the more you continue to rotate a player out, like, the less experience they have. So I don't know. I don't know what it is they're seeing that they don't like, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, bro, please don't get me started on Sam Darnold. I don't want nothing to do with Sam Darnold at all. Exactly. I still don't understand it. Like, to me, I think it was very simple when it came to the whole Sam Darnold thing. And this is this. And I'll stick to this, and I'll live and die on this. And I know a lot of people don't believe me or don't like when I say this, but at the end of the day, he does not like black quarterbacks, people. And I need everybody to stop fighting the shit. I never said the man was racist. I didn't say he didn't like black people. I said he's got a preference at quarterback, and it's Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus. Okay? That's it. It's that simple. Sam Darnold is ass. He wanted Sam Darnold, and I have no idea why. Like, there's nothing about the kid that says he's a winner. There's not a USC quarterback that was even great outside of Mark Sanchez in the last 3 decades. Please, somebody tell me who was better. Don't bring up Carson fucking Palmer because he couldn't win a playoff game and save his life. I have to say Mark Sanchez because though the man actually pretty much rolled the Jets defense into those 2 AFC championship games back-to-back years, mind you, at the end of the day, he was on the team. He get credit just like Jimmy. We had to give Jimmy credit. You got to give Sanchez credit. At the end of the motherfucking day, he was the quarterback. He was at the helm, so you get the credit too. When they win, who gets the praise? That's all it is. These are just simple facts, people. I'm not going to be, lying about it or rude about it. It's just, this is the truth of it. You know what I'm saying? CJ says, I think Lynch has something up his sleeve for another left tackle. We start. Yeah. You're right. I'm 100% sure he's preparing for that, because at a bare minimum, you've got to protect the blind side, and you've got to have a serious guy that's going to be able to get in here and do the things that we need him to do. Nobody's going to match what Staley did. Nobody's going to match what the Silverback has done for us in the time that they were here with us. Hell, I remember when Joe got drafted. That was that was the year we had 2 first-round draft picks, and we picked him and we picked Pat. It was flat out fantastic. Like, those are 2 of the best picks we ever had in 49er history. You could draft Patrick Willis and Joe Staley. You get a left tackle for the future, and you get a linebacker, literally, that if he didn't have problems with his feet, probably would still be fucking playing right now at a high-ass level. Come on, man. Like, you can't pass on that. So it's definitely a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It works, And they did, exactly. I was going to get to that as a point. They moved them to prevent the noise. As much as there were a ton of Niner fans that just didn't like Trey Lance, there were still a bunch of us that did. And yes, there would have been moments where we would have been like, hey, bro, like, see, we would have looked at it like, okay, if that would have been Lance that would have came in the game in that moment that Purdy went out, and he came in and showed up and showed out, or possibly threw a touchdown or some shit, you got little quiet whispers here and there, but it is what it is. We moved on from that. It's nothing but love to Trey in his career. Hopefully he gets somewhere where he can actually start and show people that, he definitely does have something to offer the NFL. But we got Purdy, and that's what we rolling with, man, period. We can't look in the past. We can't look back. But I can say that Kyle does have bad decision-making when it comes to backups, because this motherfucker wasn't worth shit. Sam Darnold looked like trash, and we all know that, but it is what it is on that, man. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? If Trey was a backup during the 3-game lose, yes. It definitely would have been some question marks. You are 100% correct on that, CJ. Definitely some question marks. He said, hey, look, man, everybody's got a preference of shit, bro. Everybody has a preference. And I'm not going to knock nobody for their preference or what they do and don't like. You know what I'm saying? Hell, there's motherfuckers out there that don't like ketchup but eat tomatoes, which makes absolutely no fucking sense to me, because all you're doing is getting probably a little corn syrup and some vinegar, and then you just turn the fucking tomato into goddamn ketchup. It is what it is. Everybody has like their weird quirks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, when Kyle first came here, I didn't know this motherfucker was listening to Lil Wayne. I had no clue until he came here. You know what I'm saying? I think he named one of his kids Carter after Lil Wayne. So, it's cool. But when you look at the game as a whole, and you see everything that we did, man, we went out there, we punched them in the mouth. Of course, we gave up 29 points. But that's to be expected, man. I never expected the Cardinals to go willingly and go easily and go quietly. It's just not, anytime we play them, it's not who they are. But this is a very, very fantastic victory Monday, because last week we got into the playoffs, and this week we are NFC West champions 2 years in a fucking row. Nobody can take that from us. Not the Seahawks, not the Lamb Chops, and definitely not these bum-ass Cardinals. So we've killed every bird in our division. We wrangled down the Ram and took his ass out. Now we just got to go here and be mindful of these Ravens. Now remember, people, Raven is a scavenger bird. They eat just about anything. Their gut is built for such. And they are usually considered evil in most stories. They usually are. There's nothing good that can come of a raven when you see them. Very long beaks, very sharp. They like to usually, they're almost like vultures to an extent, because they can feast on dead flesh and not get sick. This is who they are. That's how their guts are. So at the end of the day, I will say this. We went out there. We beat the shit out of them. We took over their stadium, as we always do. And we just got to get ready for these Ravens. And I hope that Armstead and Hargrave can both play, at least, if not both, at least one of them. Because I think if you can at least get Hargrave in there, that helps with the run game. You know what I mean? Just looking at it, we are just on a ridiculous streak of winning games and doing the things that we need to do. Um, it was it was a great time, man. Like, I just like I met like a few other 49er fans. I'm always trying to promote the channel, and grow my numbers. And I'm pushing for that 1K. I've been over the 500 mark. Um, shout out to my man Bashar. He's always hyping me up about the stuff I do on Instagram and whatnot, because I just do little funny videos. I always do voiceovers and shit. But it's crazy. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 marks to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend. I appreciate any love I can get. But just to look at it, the first half went like this for the Cardinals. It was a touchdown. Then we scored. Then that was Mooney's pick six. Then they kicked a field goal. We punt. They kick a field goal. We scored. They punt. Then we just took it to the half. You know what I'm saying? Right there. And then you turn around when you get to the second half. We scored. They punt. We punt. They kick a field goal. We score. They score. We score. Interception by Mooney again. We kick a field goal. They scored that random touchdown, and I believe that was DeMarco that got out there on that one. And then we just took it in and we just, down the ball and ended the game. That's just basically how it works. Things work out well, you know what I'm saying? And we did everything that we needed to do in this game to be able to come out victorious. Once again, we got to clean up the tackling, make sure we don't let people run all over us, because 234 yards by the Ravens can be, a death warrant, and you signed it yourself. Because if those dudes ran for 234 yards or even more than that, that's going to be a nightmare scenario. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to be – if they're running for that much, they're probably scoring at least 3 to 4 times just by running. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that Lamar, though a lot of people like to call him a running back, the man still has a cannon for a fucking arm. Don't forget that part. He does have a cannon for an arm, and I don't want those problems. I don't need them to be firing on all cylinders with the run and the pass. We need to make them one-dimensional, and I would preferably like it if we made Lamar throw, because then that gives us more opportunity for us to get out there and get him and make sure that he doesn't have the opportunity to settle in and actually get going with that run game and have the proper balance. I want them to be one-dimensional, and that's what we'll need to do. But bird hunting season is almost over. We got one more bird takedown. And I just want y'all to understand the team is firing on all cylinders. Brock Purdy is balling. And let's talk about this real quick, man. I'm going to pull his stats up and I'm going to share them with y'all, because I got to put this dude out there, man. I love the MVP. I do. I love it as a benchmark for greatness for players. I really do. It's definitely awesome, but I'm tired of them giving it to a fucking quarterback. Like, it gets annoying. If I'm a player and I don't play quarterback, I know that my chances of winning MVP are 2%, if that. And it's pathetic that they don't watch other players. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of people that are more important to their team than a fucking quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Quarterback is the engine. He drives the car, everything. I know that. But at the end of the day, there are other people that are doing things that mean so much. And there's one guy, and I'm going to say this, and I think that it would behoove us to actually make this happen. We need to get CMC up there, man. I'm sorry. CMC needs to be an MVP candidate, period. So let me just go ahead and share this with y'all. I'm just trying to get it to the right spot in the screen. Give me a sec. No, share screen. I'm going to share that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going here. So when you look at these stats, okay, so you see them. Hopefully y'all can see that. Brock Purdy is 260. He has 268 completions, 69.8 completion percentage, 3,795 yards. So that dude's definitely hitting the 4,000 yard mark this season. I don't think we've had a 4,000 yard passer since Joe Montana or Steve Young. And I'm not 100% sure on that. I know Joe did it definitely, but I don't remember if Steve did it or not. It's been a while. He has 29 TDs. He's got 7 interceptions. He's only been sacked 26 times. He's pretty much top of the NFL and damn near everything when it comes to being a quarterback. If you look at it just from a statistical standpoint. And then you've got Christian McCaffrey. The man has 244 carries, 1,292 yards. He's averaging 5.3 yards a carry. He has 13 fucking touchdowns. 13 people alone. This is just Christian McCaffrey. 13 touchdowns. And then on top of that, the man has 57 catches, 509 yards. He's averaging 8.9 yards a catch. He's got 17. This man alone has 20 fucking touchdowns by himself. 20. That's him between rushing and receiving. There's no fucking way you can't tell me that's not MVP caliber. The man is averaging damn near a first down on every catch. He's averaging literally his average for rushing. He would just have to run the ball twice, and it's a first down every time. Like, I don't know what else the NFL or these voters need to see, but stop riding the dicks of quarterbacks. They are not the only players in the fucking game. Christian McCaffrey is balling out of his goddamn mind. I don't know what else you need to see. So just when you look at Christian McCaffrey in total, so we got what, 500? This man has almost 2,000 all-purpose yards and 20 fucking touchdowns. If that's not MVP caliber, motherfucker, I don't know what is. It is insanity if this man doesn't get at least one MVP vote. Patrick Mahomes should not be in the MVP voting. He looks like shit. His receivers are trash. Even Travis Kelce was driving footballs. Maybe you need to stop fucking around with that skinny-ass chick Taylor Swift and go back to getting you a thick woman, because he was with his sister before he was with Taylor Swift. And then you got all over there that skin and bones and you ain't hitting nothing. You know what I'm saying? When you got you a real thick woman, you got some real meat on the bones. She gonna keep you warm. She gonna cook for you. She gonna clean. And I for damn sure know, when you're knocking it down, it's gonna feel a lot better than bone-on-bone action. That's just me. I am not a Swiftie. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, and ain't no disrespect to her or her music. She do whatever she do. But I'm sorry. Me personally, I like the person he was with before. Looked a lot better. Plus, nobody wants no skinny ass female like that. Not that small. That's not my flavor. To anybody who does like him like that, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? But it just, those numbers are crazy when you look at it. So Manny says Ken Law said he don't want that shirt. He has enough of them. He want that ship shirt. And that's a great way to look at our Niners season. What shirt are you talking? I guess you're talking about the NFC West champ shirt. Yeah, I mean, I can get that. You know what I'm saying? Ramon says, I find it interesting that this particular season, when a lot of fans have issues with the MVP going to a QB, a non-QB hasn't won it since like 2016. Peterson won it. Yeah, no, I've always had issues with that. That's just me personally. I don't like it when that happens. It frustrates me to no end, because it's like you almost are literally negating the fact that other people play other positions and do some fantastic fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Mooney had the pick six and another interception. He looked great. You know what I'm saying? I believe there's one dude, I think it's a dude from Dallas or somewhere. This motherfucker picks the ball off damn near as much as the kid they lost to an ACL, Trayvon Diggs. So why not him for defensive MVP? And that's what I'm saying. Like, make it different. Hell, if the NFL has to make a rule, like, you can't keep pushing the quarterback as the only person who means anything. And MVP means literally most valuable player. So if I'm the most valuable player, then that says to me that I'm better than everybody. So you can't always just you create a narrative to everyone saying no matter how hard you work, it makes no difference. We're going to give it to a quarterback, so don't waste your time to an extent. I mean, anybody in their right mind is not going to fuck their season off and be like, oh, I'm not doing anything because I'm not winning an MVP. But I'm saying, yes, it does create a narrative to give you an idea. If somebody says, hey, I have a real shot at winning the MVP. Nah, you probably don't. You're not a quarterback. These are just facts, people. Don't, if anybody's out there is mad at my truth, you're going to have to understand it. Don't believe me? Take a look at the history. The history proves me right. It is what it is. What's going on, Rick Diaz? He said, good morning and good afternoon. Them Niners did they damn thing, man. Yeah. You could say it would be Brock. it's hard, man. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, it has things. It it takes away from the game because I can tell you right now, there's so many years that a quarterback won an MVP that other positions definitely should have. And at the same time, you see they tried to get Trent. They tried to get Trent because the post game pressure, Trent and CMC shared the podium and Arrow asking questions. So they tried to get Trent. They tried to catch him slipping, but Trent was like, "Nah, yeah, he about to do that to me, put me in a corner like that." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "I'm up here with him, but I still love my quarterback." Like, nah, we ain't doing it. I ain't answering that question. He was like, if you tell me the truth, I think it should be both of them. I think they should be co-MVP because of how great both of them are playing. And don't get me wrong, Brock is doing some amazing things. But for Brock to win MVP, he's going to have to throw at least probably about 15 more touchdowns and maybe one or two interceptions. And his numbers have to be staggering for him to get that. Don't get me wrong, almost 4,000 yards, 29 TDs to 7 interceptions is good, but it's not great. When you win MVP, they want you to be throwing 40, 50 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like he's over these next couple of games, he would have to literally just explode offensively on a continual basis for him to actually get that nod over some of these dudes who have gaudier numbers. Because I feel like almost that's what the MVP talk is about. It's gaudier numbers. Steve O in there with the shit. He said Cotter's questionable with blue bass, I guess. But at the end of the day, I honestly am. If I had to vote for MVP, it would be Christian McCaffrey. That man is just out here balling out of his mind. Like I said, almost 2,000 all-purpose yards. He's averaging almost a touchdown. A first down every time he runs, every time he catches. Like this, the numbers that he puts up are ridiculous. And for that man to have 17 motherfucking touchdowns, like, come on, man. I mean, 20 TDs on the year between rushing and receiving. Is the ultimate dual threat guy, period. And I can guarantee you he's going to break that 2,000 yard mark as far as all-purpose yards. I can guarantee it's going to happen. Now it'd be crazy if we could get CMC to 1,000 yards receiving as well. And that's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, he has 509 yards right now. So, but yeah, no, that's going to be a little hard because we'll have him running more, you know what I'm saying, unless he just has like a couple of crazy ass catches every game that put him up there. And I mean, that'd be insane if you got a dude who had 1,000 yards rushing and receiving and had double-digit touchdowns at both. There's no way a person like that shouldn't win the MVP. That's what I'm saying. Oh, no, Cotter. This is one thing. This is why I said Cotter ran yesterday because he had to, not because he wanted to. It literally, like when you saw him run, like Cotter doesn't run with purpose anymore. You know what I'm saying? When you see a runner, they have vision, they have purpose. They know where they're going. You can see their body language tells you they want to do this. Cotter runs because he's scared. And I think he's starting to, after a while, man, you got to start understanding, man, these dudes are big as fuck. These are some massive individuals. Defensive linemen ain't no less than 6 foot, and they don't weigh no less than about 275 pounds. Most of these dudes are massive. Hell, you got linebackers that are at that size. And the only difference between the defensive lineman and linebacker is just a little more fit. And I can't even say that some of the defensive linemen aren't, because I remember when JPP did like 100 fucking backflips at the goddamn combine. I've seen Trent Williams do some fucking things that he definitely shouldn't be able to do with a man at that size. Very, very nimble. If you ain't never seen Trent Williams workouts, you're missing out. That motherfucker goes ape shit. But either way, y'all, fantastic win. We went in there. We punched them Redbirds in the mouth. They punched us a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was a good fight. But at the end of the day, they took the L like they always do. NFC West champs. Nobody can see us. Already in the playoffs. Doesn't matter what happens for the rest of the season. Not saying that we're going to be lackadaisical and take our foot off the gas or anything like that. But I can tell you this. If we wrap up that number 1 seed, you are going to see a lot less of the players that we love. And we are going to have a couple more L's on our record because we're probably going to be playing guys less strictly because we're sitting dudes. We're trying to give guys extra rest. We're trying to make sure, the nicks and scrapes and cuts and bumps and bruises that you get throughout the season, you have proper time to heal them. We may have guys not practicing as much or doing certain things just to be able to have them fresh as they can. And I can tell you this. It's funny because there's certain players, like some of the players, they don't need to practice. They don't need, what I'm saying, to do all that. Some of the players do. What's going on, Roy boy? Yeah, man, we're fighting for that bye week. So, hopefully the Seahawks handle their business tonight. If they get that dub, that helps us out tremendously. It pushes us another game ahead of the Eagles. As far as for that number one seed in the NFC. So we're working out well, man. We're doing everything that we can. Nobody's worried about the NFC North or South. I'm sorry, those divisions. The South is just a pathetic division altogether. It's just all bad. And then the NFC North, it's so damn confusing over there. You don't even know who the fuck is doing what. As a matter of fact, let me take a look at the standings here, and just share that with y'all as well, because I'm a little confused. I know the NFC South is hot fucking garbage, but the NFC North, I know they've been trying to do a couple of things. So we got some E's and some X's and everything. So E means eliminated, just so you know. If you're looking right here, eliminated from playoff contention. So when you look at it, let's look at the landscape of the NFL for a quick moment. So in the in the AFC East, the Dolphins and the Bills are still alive, obviously, because they're both winning. They both have winning records. The Jets and the New England Patriots are done for the season. If I'm the Jets and the Patriots, I'm putting in backups for the rest of the year to see what I got, and then I'm moving forward. That's it. Now, this is a competitive-ass division. AFC North, the Steelers are not all the way out of it. You got the Bengals at 8-6 with the kid they got. He's been doing some things. Jake Browning. The Browns are still not out of it. Joe Flacco's making them look good. The Ravens are the number one seed in the AFC. So on the AFC South, you got the Jag. You have a three-way tie. You got the Jags, the Colts, and the Texans. They will not go away. Titans, you're out. You can forget about it. Kansas City, the AFC West. You have the Chiefs at 9-7, Broncos 7-7, Raiders at 6-8, and the Chargers at 5-9. So that tells you how close this playoff race is, because these guys are still in it. The Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers. And the Chargers shouldn't have no shot because they just fired their coach because he's worthless. He's been worthless as fuck the whole time he's been there. But Raiders on the outside looking in, they can still do something. And the Chiefs are looking hella suspect right now. They can barely catch a damn ball. The receivers don't look good. They got Patrick Mahomes out here looking pedestrian as fuck. And then in the NFC East, you got the Eagles and the Cowboys that have clinched a playoff spot. But the Washington Commanders are eliminated from playoff contention. The Giants will eventually be eliminated. We all know that. And then you look at the Bears. You look at the NFC North. So the Lions got that on lock. I think the Lions are the team to come out of the NFC North. You still got the Vikings at 7-7. The Packers are 6-8. And the Bears are 5-9. So I think, honestly, the Lions obviously got that division. That's theirs to lose. Then you get to the dismal AFC South. The AFC South is just as bad, almost as bad as the NFC South and AFC South are similar. You know what I'm saying? Both the only difference is the AFC South has winners, and the NFC South has 500 teams and below 500. The Panthers are 2-12. I wouldn't put a starter on the field for the Panthers. I'd put backups in and just say fuck it, let it go, and I'll go ahead and do what I got to do. I know I have C.J. Stroud, so it's in that manner. Instead of me going after another quarterback, I'm going to draft offensive linemen to protect my guy. I'm going to give me a left tackle. I'm going to give me some guards. Like, that's what I'm doing. And then, of course, you got us. We're 11-3. The Rams are there 7-7. The Seahawks are 6-3, and the Arizona Cardinals, with that loss yesterday, have been eliminated from playoff contention. So I can tell you right now, if I'm the Cardinals, kind of just sit your little ass down. Ain't no point. We just going to put somebody else in and let them play. Season's over with. We're fucking done. I ain't about to waste my time. If I'm Buda Baker, I'm looking at the coach going, I ain't getting on that field. We already out of playoff contention. Shoot, what the fuck am I playing for? Y'all go ahead and put somebody else in. Give backup some burn. Let them, let's see what we got. Some of these little young bucks out here. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're already eliminated from the playoffs and it's this early in the season, just be smart about it. Don't waste your time by allowing your good players to wind up getting hurt, tearing ACLs or straining things, anything like that. You're already eliminated. I'm not about to put starters out there for what? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have a meeting with guys. I'm going to talk to them. Hey, man, I know you're a starter. I know you probably want to play, but hey, look, man, we're done, bro. I'm going to let these backups get some burn. Let's see what we got in them. Let's see who we going to keep next year. Anybody that's on their final year of their contract, get out there, show me something. Let me know if you really want to get paid. things like that. You know what I'm saying? Just think of it from a business standpoint, but that's just basically the case. So when you look at it, we're the top of the NFL just in general, along with the Baltimore Ravens. So it's going to be a clash of the Titans, literally full on clash of the Titans with us and the Ravens, the two teams that the Super Bowl logo has so-called deemed to be the actual Super Bowl matchup. And if we can go in there, hey, what's going on, Dave McDonough? If we could go in there and take those dudes out, let's do it. Let's get them. Let's go in there. Let's punch them in the mouth. Let's make sure we have our sound tackling. Hopefully, we can get Armstead and Hargrave back. And this next game is going to be a serious battle, but we need it. We need it tremendously, and we want to make sure that we have it. And we are not giving up anything. We are going hard. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Everyone, stay up, stay faithful, stay blessed. I'm out this joint. Peace.